In April 2026, Meghan Sussex spent 4 days in Australia. She visited a children's hospital, met survivors of the Bondi Junction attack, and appeared on MasterChef. She wore clothes. And for that, a former royal biographer called her vile. A GB News host called her crass. And the Daily Mail tried to convince you she'd spent £57,000 on a 4-day shopping spree. None of that was true, but it worked. Because the Meghan effect has never just been about fashion. It's about who gets to tell the story and who gets to cash the check. This is the story of $51 million in media impact, 800% sales jumps for Australian jeans, and a woman who finally decided to stop being the product and start owning the platform. Let's start with that headline. The Daily Mail wanted you to believe Meghan touched down and blew £57,000 on new clothes. But read past the first paragraph, if you can, and you find something else. Nearly £47,000 of that total came from jewelry she already owned. The Cartier tank watch, £17,800, worn before. The Juste un Clou necklace, £12,800, worn before. The Paspalais earrings, £8,930, worn before. The love bangle, £5,850, worn before. 4 pieces already in her closet accounted for £47,065 of the headline number. That leaves about £10,700 for actual new clothing and shoes across 4 days of multiple engagements. That is not an excessive spending spree. That is a working wardrobe for a woman in the public eye. But the Mail was not interested in honest accounting. It wanted a narrative, and that narrative requires readers to see Meghan as incapable of doing anything without excess. Since Meghan entered the royal family, the media have repeatedly tried to force her into negative female archetypes. In this case, the Marie Antoinette role. They do it through pocket watching, inflated fashion totals, and selective outrage. Never mind that she is now financially independent, no longer a working royal, and not being dressed at public expense for that private visit. While the British press was busy inflating numbers, Australian fashion insiders were saying something completely different. Elliot Garnaut also revealed that Meghan's team was not waiting for designers to come to them. They were direct messaging small Australian labels on Instagram.
To be honest, it's significant for any brand, but when it comes to the smaller independent designers, this genuinely can change the trajectory of their entire business.
Meghan reached out personally. She chose brands with purpose, female-led, local, often philanthropic. St. Agni had just partnered with a campaign for ovarian cancer research. Friends with Frank received a handwritten note from its founder, and Meghan wrote back, and the results led to measurable demand. According to Launchmetrics data, Meghan's 4 days in Australia generated $51.6 million in media impact value. Within 48 hours, Karen G's navy Priscilla dress, $1.6 million in MIV. The ready-to-wear version sold out in 2 hours. St. Agni's suede bomber and pencil skirt, $998,000. Friends with Frank, $575,000 with 2 styles selling out within 2 days. Sales told the same story. Scanlon Theodore saw combined sales of 3 featured products rise 250% week on week. Rola's jeans saw sales for 1 Midtown bootcut style jump 800%. That is a structural change for small businesses. 2,800%. Let that fact sink in. The same British media that spent years calling Meghan irrelevant just had to swallow their words. Because she's a cultural and commercial force they've been desperate to gaslight the world into ignoring.
So she meets the survivors of the Bondi Beach terror attack, and then the clothing she wears is advertised online, and she gets a share from those profits. That's vile.
It's just tasteless, completely tasteless.
That is Ingrid Seward, a royal biographer speaking on GB News, and the claim is worth slowing down. Meghan met survivors of a terrorist attack. She spoke with them, listened to them, and was photographed during the visit. Seward takes that moment and reduces it to commerce. Because Meghan's outfit was later identified online, the visit becomes, in her telling, a sales opportunity. The people she met become secondary. The context disappears, the clothes become the point. That is a frame that only works if the audience already accepts the idea that Meghan's motives are always suspect.
Completely tone deaf to wear a designer outfit that collectively was worth tens of thousands of dollars when you take her watch and the jewellery into account, to a women's homeless shelter. Not the right place. Literally,
What
read
should
the
she have
room,
worn?
Meghan. Do what Princess Kate would wear. Wear an outfit you've worn before, probably from the high street, which means an inexpensive brand. Wear a pair of trainers. Just look look like you're not trying to show off.
And that, ladies and gentlemen, is the Marie Antoinette archetype at work. It is the old media trick, where a woman's clothes become evidence of moral failure. Her dress becomes vanity. Her jewelry becomes greed. Her polish becomes proof that she cannot possibly care about people. The point is not to ask whether she did anything wrong. The point is to make her look too rich, too styled, too comfortable, and therefore too detached to be sincere. That is why the Marie Antoinette frame matters when we talk about Meghan Sussex. It shows how certain media outlets try to teach the public what to feel before they even look at the facts. Look at the difference in treatment between Meghan and Kate Middleton. When Kate wears expensive clothes, the press often softens the story. Readers are reminded that she has worn the outfit before. Her spending becomes elegant, sensible, and even relatable. Rarely does anyone cast her as a symbol of excess, even though her public role is supported by taxpayer money. Meghan, meanwhile, could not even eat avocado while pregnant without parts of the British press linking it to climate damage and violence in South America. Yet when Kate is associated with the same kind of lifestyle detail, it becomes sweet, wholesome, and heartwarming. That is not an accident. Certain outlets would gladly frame Meghan as if she had said, "Let them eat cake." Their goal is to turn her into a symbol of greed, excess, and selfishness. Once the audience accepts that frame, everything she does can be twisted. A dress becomes a scandal. A public appearance becomes a cash grab. Crediting a designer becomes a scheme. Showing up for survivors becomes self-promotion. This has followed Meghan for years. That is the point of the archetype. It does not describe what Meghan does. It decides what the public should feel before she even does it. This brings us to one of the smartest moves Meghan Sussex has made in years, and it helps explain why the tabloids are so deranged than usual. In April 2026, it reported that Meghan had joined OneOff as both an investor and a participant. OneOff is an AI-powered fashion discovery platform that lets users identify and shop pieces from an outfit. In simple terms, you see a look, the app finds the items, and you can buy them directly. Instead of simply using the platform, Meghan now has an equity stake. This fits a clear pattern. Meghan has built a private angel portfolio around female-founded, purpose-driven brands. But here's why the tabloids are furious. For years, they have made money off Meghan's wardrobe without paying her a cent. They used her image to drive affiliate commissions while sneering at her in the same paragraph. OneOff cut straight through that scam. If you like Meghan's style, you can now go directly to her page, see the correct credits, and shop without wading through snide commentary. And unlike the tabloids, Meghan now has a stake in the platform, capturing that demand. Meghan told the Australian Women's Weekly exactly that. Credit where credit is due. She said the brands and designers she wears work so hard and take great pride in their work, adding that she chooses them for a reason. She also confirmed she does not have a stylist. She puts every look together herself. So no, this is not vile or crass. This is a woman who understands that fashion is not just about looking good. It is about visibility. It is about credit. And it is about making sure the people behind the clothes are recognized for their work.
This is having
financial impact on our economy and also helping these brands build their profile internationally. Apparently, Google searches for Meghan Markle Australian fashion in Australia are up 2,800%.
Wow. And I think we just need to contextualise in this sea of what is often, to your point, Ree, hate and ridicule, is someone who converts commercially very, very well. And we had another quote from Julia from Friends with Frank, you know, on what is often dubbed the Meghan effect. We sold out of both styles that Meghan wore within 48 hours of her wearing them and have now put them on pre-order due to demand.
So where does this leave us? The press will keep running contradictory headlines. The Royal Rota will keep calling Meghan vile, and certain outlets will keep demanding she change clothes to meet an impossible standard that no other public figure is held to. But the numbers don't care about their feelings. Remember Paris Fashion Week? Meghan showed up and the entire industry lost its mind, not because she did anything wrong, because she existed. They pocket-watched every single move, trying to second-guess her next step. The Met Gala? Same thing. If she'd gone, they'd be pocket-watching that too. She cannot step outside her door without people counting her coins and questioning her motives. It's ridiculous. Earlier in this essay, I kept bringing up Marie Antoinette, because that's the archetype they've shoved onto Meghan, the out-of-touch woman whose love of fashion becomes proof of moral failure. But let's be real about who the actual Marie Antoinettes are. The current court, the firm, the institution, that's Camilla, that's Kate. They live in palaces funded by taxpayers, they wear designer clothes, they have security details, estate renovations, and all the trappings of royal luxury. And yet the press does not demonize them. They don't pocket watch Camilla's wardrobe. They don't calculate the cost of Kate's every outfit. They don't call them vile or crass or Marie Antoinette. So who gets all that? Meghan, the one who left, the one who earns her own money, the one who is self-funded. They scapegoat her. They project every negative female archetype onto her, the spendthrift, the social climber, the foreigner, the excess, so they don't have to look at the actual court. The Meghan effect was never just about a woman wearing nice clothes. It was always about who controls the narrative. For years, the tabloids controlled it, and they monetized every stitch. Now, Meghan is building her own infrastructure, not to silence criticism, but to make sure that when people love her style, the credit and the commission go to the right place. Thanks for watching to the end. If you liked what you saw, hit that like button and subscribe.